So let's go ahead and add the rest of the microsolvers. I'm just going to turn off the simulation and set this to manual for the moment. Just in case we get, I've been finding it crashing a bit. So let's drop the vortex confinement. Vortex confinement, again, we discussed that in the previous lesson, so we're not going to go into too much detail, but this is trying to keep those swirling kind of motions going. Also going to add a bit of dissipation. Tab, cast dissipate. Okay, again, we spoke about it in the last one, just a tiny bit of this. Set this, both of these to 0.2. Okay, so evaporation, it completely disappears. Diffusion is kind of blending, merging the density, so the actual smoke itself, into the scene. So I'm going to merge all these together, and then because they're kind of on their own, and then I'm going to add a turbulence here. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this turbulence that we didn't do in the previous one, if we go to bindings here, okay, and the density field, I'm going to change this to flame, because I want I want this to affect the flame, basically, right? The flames themselves. So where is it? The influence threshold. So that's going to find the edge of the flame and try to, it's going to add some turbulence to the flames themselves, right? I'm more interested in adding some turbulence to the actual flames, to the fire, right? And then we'll work on the smoke with some disturbance, right? So connect that into there. Great. And now I'm going to look at some disturbance. So I'm going to drop another merge here, because I'm going to have a range of different sizes of the disturbance. So remember, the turbulence is the big noise, and disturbance is a little, whoopsie daisy, and disturbance will be the small kind of micro details, right? So let's grab a gas disturb, connect that one up. So this one, I'm going to leave these on the density, and I'm going to set this to, I'm going to drop the strength way down to 1 and leave the scale like that. And then I'm going to alt click and drag on this one. And this one I'm going to change to flame here. So that's looking for the borders of the flame, right? And leave the settings the same. For that, maybe we could add a note to these. So density, flame. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more, copying this one because I wanted to work on the flame as well. And I'm just going to change the scale of this one to 2, and the strength, sorry, to 2, and the reference scale to 1. Okay, so it's a smaller effect. No, well, a bigger effect, but a smaller scale of that, right? So let's do, I'll call this small and big. Cool. So that's almost everything I want to do here. I also want to, as the fire goes on, I want it to increase in intensity, right? So yeah, make sure that this is disabled, right? And I'm going to animate the values coming in here, right? So this is a quick and easy way to have a big effect on your overall simulation. So I'm going to animate this, the values of this burn field, right? So it's going to multiply this. So I'm going to create a keyframe on the first frame, then go to frame 120 and set this to 2. So it doubles as it goes along, right? And then I'm going to try with the temperature as well. So let's not go so much with the temperature. I'm going to go to 1.5 on the last frame, and then go to the first frame and set it to 1. Alt click on that. So there you'll see them both go up. Okay. let's get rid of that ground plane, go into full screen, save this, turn that off. Turn the simulation back on, set it back to auto, and then let's run a flipbook, a full 120 frames at the same resolution. So I'm still at 0.05. I'm going to go lower than that. I think we'll go to 0.02. Obviously that depends on your, what you can do with your computer. You could go lower than 0.02 if you can. Go ahead. Okay, let's see how this looks.